Hey class, if you were unable to join yesterday for the lesson, then I'm going to upload this up to YouTube so that you guys can watch it at any time. Today our lesson is about the regression equation, um, but we're going to review just a little bit what we went over in our previous lesson. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to be talking about the regression equation today. But as a review, we've been talking about scatter plots. And last time we talked about the correlation coefficient. Okay. We are still under the unit of describing bivariate data, how to deal with bivariate data. Okay. So we're going to be looking at a lot of scatter plots. So my R value here is 0.78. And if I were to describe this scatter plot right here, what I would say is it has a very strong positive, seemingly linear correlation between high school GPA and your university GPA, right? Strength, direction, context, okay? The R value is what tells us the strength, right? And the direction, okay? It looks seemingly linear, right? There is a way to determine linearity, but for now, you're just going to eyeball it, okay? And what are my variables? My high school GPA and my eventual university GPA, okay? All right, so don't forget SDFC, strength, direction, form, context. Okay, so now we're going to go a little bit further. We're going to take it a step further, and we're going to talk about the regression equation, okay? What is the regression equation? At lower levels of math, you may have called this the line of best fit. Now, I know in geometry, when you had me as your teacher, I did talk about this very briefly, okay? Very briefly. You may have talked about it in Algebra 1 as well, okay? Uh, and what you did in Algebra 1 was you found 2 points that you thought would fit the best line, and then you would create the equation from there. So you kind of eyeballed it and you're like, okay, you know what? This is my best line, okay? However, now there is actually a singular best answer, okay? And that answer is actually found a particular way, which we will go over in today's lesson, actually. But stay tuned this afternoon. Um, Stay tuned this afternoon. um, so, we're not going to talk about that now, like how we actually calculate that. All right. But for now, or how we know that's the best equation. For now, I'm just going to tell you what it is. So it's written in the form y is equal to a plus bx. You may be like, hey, wait, Mr. Shu, isn't that y equals mx plus b? Yes, it is. Okay. But you are old enough now, you are wise enough now to know that there are many different notations within mathematics. Okay. So you might be like, well, why can't we all just use y equals mx plus b? It shouldn't matter what variable we use, okay? And so in statistics, this is a common notation, and believe it or not, even within statistics, people use different notations. But for our class, we're just going to use y hat is equal to a plus bx, okay? What is y hat? The predicted value of y. A is my y-intercept, and b is my slope, okay? Hopefully you got it. All right. What information does the regression add to what we already know? Okay. Well, what does it do? Here's my regression equation. Okay. My predicted university GPA is equal to 1.097 plus 0.675 multiplied by my high school GPA. It gives me the ability to predict what someone's university GPA would be based off of their high school GPA. Okay? It's one of the strongest things that statisticians were able to do. Is that's where the money's at, okay? Is being able to predict what's going to happen down the line. Now, what does my slope tell me? My slope tells me that for every additional high school GPA point there is, the university GPA is predicted to increase by 0.675 points. Okay, so that means for every one increase in my high school GPA, right, the university GPA is predicted to increase by 0.675. Okay, something like that. All right. The y-intercept, what does it tell me? Is if someone's high school GPA was 0, then their predicted college GPA would be about 1.097. But mostly what we use this for is making predictions, which we are going to talk about in this afternoon's lesson. Okay, so your homework, right? You have analyzed the following scatter plot, including the slope and the y-intercept. The information that you need is given below. Remember SDFC. Tell me what the slope means. Tell me what the y-intercept means, and make a prediction for a certain the height of a child given a certain number of months. Okay? All right, cool. Thanks, guys. Uh, have a great day, and I will see you all this afternoon.